Welcome back to Viper Bites. I'm Matt Donnelly, and we are going to continue to bring you some of the top prospect profiles heading into April's draft here. And we're going to start this episode with Desmond Ritter, quarterback, Cincinnati. But before we go any further, hey, take a second, rate and review us, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever podcasting platform you are listening to us on right now. Also, hey, watching us on the YouTube there on the Vipers Network, make sure to take a second, hit that subscribe button, get those notifications turned up, and make sure to give us a good old-fashioned thumbs up on this video. Let's talk Desmond Ritter now. 2 seasons there since becoming a starter there in high school. He averaged 6.5 yards per carry. He earned himself top quarterback status in the state of Kentucky and 3 stars according to Scout.com. Now, in those 2 seasons as a starter there in high school, 2,270 passing yards, 19 passing touchdowns, 1,583 rushing yards, and 30 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, that's going to catch the attention of some scouts along the way. That's pretty safe to say. Now, let's look at his measurables. 6'3", 211 pounds, 10-inch hands. He also had a relative athletic score of 9.6, which is kind of on the freakish side when it comes to the quarterback position. He ran the 40 in a 4.52, which is a lot faster than a lot of people thought going into the combine there. He also had a 36-inch vertical, a 127-inch broad jump. He did the 3-cone there in 7.15 seconds, and his 20-yard shuttle, 4.29. You add those all up, put those metrics together, that burst score at the quarterback position, 126.5, 94th percentile. Now, his college QBR, 80.9, that's in the 75th percentile, while his college yards per attempt, 8.4 yards per attempt. That was in the 59th percentile. Breakout age, 67th percentile at 20 years. In 2017, Desmond Ritter redshirted, but in 2018, starting in 11 games after he came on the field for the 3rd offensive series against UCLA in the season opener, he started the rest of the way, showing a knack for making some big plays, completing 62.4% of his passes, throwing for 2,445 yards and 20 touchdowns, while adding 583 yards on the ground, along with 5 more scores. Now, in 2019, injuries started to add up throughout the season. He threw for 2,164 yards. He added 18 touchdowns in the passing game, but he made a little bit of noise there in the run game, 650 yards, 5 more touchdowns on the ground to lead the Bearcats. And here's probably the biggest factor when we're talking about Desmond Ritter. 9 come from behind victories in that 2019 season. 2020, named AAC Offensive Player of the Year, while also earning first-team honors in the AAC, as well as the MVP of the AAC championship game. Now, also in 2020 season there, Ritter threw for 2,296 yards, 19 touchdowns in the air, adding 592 yards on the ground, along with 9 more touchdowns. His 12 touchdowns on the ground, that ranks 2nd amongst quarterbacks in the NCAA and the FBS. Cincinnati, they made it all the way to the college football playoffs thanks to a 13-1 record and back-to-back AAC championships. Ritter passed for 3,334 yards and 30 touchdowns to go along with 365 yards on the ground and 6 more rushing touchdowns, while being named AAC Offensive Player of the Year. Now, unfortunately, that game against Alabama in the CFP playoffs did not go according to plan. Now, when we look at the accolades of Ritter and what he did in this period of time here at Cincinnati, 3rd most wins by a quarterback in college football history, 44, while finishing undefeated 26-0 at Knepper Stadium there. He was a finalist for the 2021 Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. He became Cincinnati's career passing leader at USF on November 12th with his 79th touchdown pass. He finished with a school record 87 career touchdown passes, and he holds career totals of 10,239 passing yards and 2,179 rushing yards. He finished 28 career rushing touchdowns, which is the most ever by a Cincinnati quarterback. And he has the most total yards in Cincinnati Bearcat history at 12,418, which is also first in AAC history. And he's responsible for more touchdowns than anyone else in the AAC with 113. Those are all pretty good. He didn't manage to finish 8th when it came to the 2021 Heisman voting. So let's talk about strengths and weaknesses when it comes to Desmond Ritter. Konami Code quarterback in the making. I've mentioned those rushing yards and rushing totals. He's got that ability. I mentioned his passing yards. He can throw the ball too. Now, I don't think he's as an accomplished passer as he is a runner, but hey, Those are his strengths. He has that Konami code ability, and that's what a lot of these teams are looking for these days. He is a proven winner, helping bring Cincinnati to the forefront of the college football world. They made it to the college football playoffs in 2021. They probably should have been there in 2020, but who am I to judge anybody? And he had the command of this offense, the confidence he has in himself and his teammates. It is clearly reciprocated throughout. Now, he's a mobile quarterback that can get outside the pocket, and he can beat you, but he'd rather throw from inside when given that opportunity to do so. He does a great job on throwing outside with anticipation and touch. Now, the weaknesses, he looks like he's been well-weathered, to say the least. He looks like Andre Reed way back when, as far as his facial appearances. But hey, we don't judge a book by its cover here. Now, the arm strength, that leaves some deep balls a little bit short. His throws don't seem to have that zip to get into those tight windows like we're talking about with Malik Willis and Matt Carroll, who's got a lot of bit of that. Ritter doesn't have that ability yet. He's got some accuracy concerns when it comes to those intermediate patterns and throwing those, and that ability to throw those wide receivers open. Now, before we get into this analysis here, when we talk about Desmond Ritter and how I break it down, you want some good analysis here, especially on Desmond Ritter, head over to fantasypoints.com. They have just released their NFL prospect guide ahead of this year's draft for 2022. You get Greg Cassell talking 200 plus rookie profiles. Wes Huber's in there and that whole gang over at Fantasy Points. You get this magazine for $25. What do you get in that? You get film analysis, strengths, weaknesses, NFL transitions. You get all those measurables, all those combine results that you're looking for, all these top prospects, mock drafts, and Devy and rookie rankings all in one place. Speaking of fantasypoints.com, you want that best subscription when it comes to fantasy football information? Head over to fantasypoints.com, enter promo code VIPERS22, and get 10% off that subscription today. Now let's get back to my analysis on one Desmond Ritter. You can see Ritter's footwork game is strong, and not only from that Konami code type viewpoint, but he's going to have to work on the little things like that arm strength if he's going to be truly considered a dual threat at the next level. He does an excellent job to get his feet set to make those throws from balanced platforms while doing a good job processing what is transpiring in front of him. One thing you can't take away from him is that he is a winner and knows how to get the job done. 4-year starter, holds an 88.2 winning percentage, which is tied for second all-time among FBS quarterbacks, trailing only one, Trevor Lawrence. One thing you do not want to trail on is NFL news, because when trades happen, when signings go down, when news breaks, the Dynasty Vipers Network is going to be there to break it all down for you. So make sure to get those notifications turned on, and we will see you next time.